I'm going to need your cooperation for this, so please pay attention. The guest of honor is on the outside, so I'm going to do a quick countdown by the door. He doesn't know this is happening at all. All right? So as soon as he enters, we'll all shout, surprise. He doesn't have a heart condition, so it's fine. All right? So just watch for me at the door. It will be a silent countdown. I won't be over the PA at all. All right? So you'll have to watch the door. 3, 2, 1, and everybody just give me a loud surprise, and then we can continue with the rest of the evening. All right? Thank you so much for your future cooperation. Surprise! Good evening, Mr. Dinal Barnes. How are you, sir? Everybody, let's hear it. Make some noise for our guest of honor, Mr. Dinal Barnes. Oh, many of us, like myself, will know him from university, and we call him, no man, don't worry yourself, man, don't worry yourself. Right? We know him as Vendor, right? But I suppose that most of this room will know him as Dinal Barnes. Now, Vendor, you probably wonder what we are doing so this evening. Well, you have a program in your hand right now, so you know what it's all about. We are here to celebrate you. We are here to celebrate you and your achievements, right? Now, let me tell you, it is every parent's dream to see their child or children follow the right path, do the right things, become exemplars of excellent behavior, right? It is every parent's dream to have a child or children that avoid going astray of the laws that govern the respective lands in which they may be. Every parent dreams of being able to celebrate their child in this special way. Every little thing from a certificate of participation from as early as basic school to your LEC is celebrated by every parent. And this evening, Deanall, we are here. Your family, your friends are here to celebrate you and let you know that, listen, we're proud of you. You're going good. You're the right type of role model for the youth them follow. So, sir, congratulations on all your achievements, and we are very happy to be your friends, and I'm sure your family is excited to say, yes, I have one nephew, one cousin, one uncle, one brother named Deanall, a son named Deanall T. Barnes. Let's hear it for the gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. So, Fender, rather than just get a little thank you card or something, or like a congratulatory card, and mommy called and said, boy, son, I'm proud of you. I don't know how your mother sound, by the way, but this is just my interpretation of all mothers. Boy, son, I'm proud of you. I mean, it means a lot. I'm sure it does. Every single time mom says that to you, it will mean a lot. But when you get food and friends and family congregated like this, I'm sure it means a lot more, and we're really happy to be here. How you feel, boss? You good? You didn't know so this a go on? Yeah. You pick up something, but you're never quite sure. Yeah, you're never sure how to put your finger on it. Let me tell you, man, you from long time you're an example for people like me still. You know what I mean? I remember when we reached Chancellor Hall as a humble little cub, right? You're one of the few who could have said, well, you know, say, the senior, you're a good youth. I mean, there are some others here who are good youth them too. But tonight, enough for them night. Right? Tonight is your night. But sir, thank you for all those years of encouragement, directly and indirectly. When you used to school me in a Chancellor Hall, it really helpful. And I'm happy to see that you have continued. You not just talk it, but you walk it. And before I go any further, everyone, let me just share just a little bit more about Chancellor Hall. No, vendor, don't worry. Don't worry, you're good. You're good, right? Now, when we're in Chancellor Hall, we all wanted everyone else, everybody else, every other lion to do well, right? So from you reaching as a freshman, and depending on your course of study, you'd have a senior who already did that course. In fact, sometimes you'd have a lecturer who would have been a chancellorite or who is a chancellorite. You have a tutor who is a chancellorite, and they'd all try to ensure that you can master every single course that you do so you can get all the credits that you need to get. And there was a group on every block, but you had some inter-block groups that would study together. And you'll hear from particularly one of them tonight. You'll hear from a couple others as well, who would have studied with vendor, who vendor would have learned from, and others who vendor would have taught. So it's not that him just give. Sorry, it's not that he only receives, but he also gives. He's willing to share knowledge. He's willing to share information. He's willing to share strategies. He's a kind, warm soul. Sometime. But we're not, you cut the mic. No, I'm not good at someone. I'm not telling you, yeah man, we're good man, right? Well, he's a kind, warm soul and an example for any young man to follow. So youth, again, big up yourself. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right now we should be hearing from one of Deanall's closest friends, a gentleman known to us as Shine. But to the world, he's known as Dr. Garfield Blake, the economist. Unfortunately, Shine couldn't make it this evening because he had some flight issues in connecting to get to Jamaica. So, what Vendor Shine say, respect. And that's just a summary of the thesis paper he wrote to share this evening, right? But instead, we will hear from Kwame Brooks, a.k.a. Engine Brakes. No, man, we're not talking nobody business tonight, man. Tonight is all above board. There are children in the room. We're keeping it PG, right? But ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Kwame Brooks.
To Deanall's parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and to all gathered here, a special good evening. It is a privilege and with great pleasure that I'm here to share in the moment with Deanall, my true friend and brother, and with all of us here, his family. My name is Kwame, as he said earlier. Brakes are flash, where our journey started some 23 years ago. You know? Yeah, but that's long. Some 23 years ago, when we met as freshmen on the line in Chancellor Hall. Some of us quickly identified traits in each other that kind of pull small groups together. You know, one of the first interaction or bonding we had with Deanall was as freshmen, we came in and we were determined. And this is where I first identified Deanall's determination, where we said that we're not coming on the hall to stay long without a girlfriend. So therefore, we are going to walk the halls and knock on every female door until we find suitable candidates. Yeah. So there was a little group with Vendor, myself, Dirtsman, and two other guys who are not here now. I think it was Jergens and Genitals. Yeah. Yeah. But that started what has become a great journey, you know? So I must say then that of all the people here, I am very delighted, very, very delighted to participate in this acknowledgement of Deanall's academic achievements and his professional achievements and his development as a person. Because it's not just about the profession and the academics, I know everybody here have traveled from varied place, and it goes to show how we feel about Deanall and what he means to us. So I want to thank everybody who has come out to show your support, and just to encourage and embrace Deanall for what he has achieved. When I think about Deanall, I think about some quotes. One of them is that Deanall believes that regardless of race, creed, or circumstance, every human being can realize their full potential. And this he demonstrates in varied ways. The support for his friends. But one of them that really hit home with me is something that comes from what Martin Luther King says. The true measure of a man is seen in how he treats others, and especially those from whom he expects nothing in return. Many of you may know how devoted Deanall is to his primary school for which he chairs the board, and how he tries to motivate the young people, giving selflessly and trying to encourage the development of youths, and it's nothing in it for him personally other than just promoting the human well-being. So that I admire a lot. Deanall's work ethic over the years is a true reflection of the gem most of us grew up on, where it says, the heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. I can remember the nights on Chancellor Hall when we used to watch the sun rise over the Blue Mountains. Sleepless nights. And he has maintained that ethic throughout life, giving passionately to whatever he goes at, whatever he puts his hand at. He only believes in becoming the best at it. And that you can see in his achievements. So Deanall has been committed to pursuing his dreams, to realizing his full potential, be it academic or otherwise. He always desires to contribute to humanity positively and to improve whatever he has laid his hands on. As we say, he's an academic who demonstrates by example. So when he's encouraging the youths, he's not only talking, he's leading by example and says, see, I have done it, you can do it too. And again, his recent calling to the bar is a demonstration of that, Many people at his stage would say, I'm done with school, now I'm going to school, now I'm trying nothing else, But guess what? He's always striving for anything that can make him become much better at what he does, and not just the average individual. From an early stage in our conversations, we all decided, listen, you have to set yourself apart from the mass. That's the only way you create true value, by being different in a good way. And Deanall lives that example. Deanall has surrounded himself with groups of friends, and some of these friends represent noble institutions by which he would have captured some of the values from the different institutions. So I'll start with himself, where at Calabar, where their motto is utmost for the highest. Yes? Right. So that is one of the standards by which he lives. He would have surrounded himself with people from Monroe, the city on the hill where your light must always shine. Yeah? And he would have had KC friends where the brave may fall but never yield. Right? That is shown in him again. He has Cornwall friends where is learn or leave. Right? He has friends from Mannings where life without learning is death. Right? And that's just to name a few of the institutions. So he would have grasped pieces from all of these solid foundation people who he surrounds himself with. And again, he is a Liverpool supporter. Hear, hear. Right? And that's true. Successful people never walk alone. So therefore, he lives the epitome of all those pillars. You know? So I must say that it is with extreme pleasure that I can share in the experiences of Dinal and say he's a friend and a brother, a confidant. You know, if I have any little thing I need to reason out, yeah, it's that time when we can go for a drink and talk. You know? So I must say everybody give a special big up and a special cheer for Dinal. Yeah, man. And without ado, I'll turn over to Mr. Master of Ceremonies and just say, Dinal, this is the beginning of greater things to come.
Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks. Dinal has been called to the bar before, but on those occasions, there was no certification, and if any at all, he would have ended up in front of a judge after being called to those bars. He would have been on the other side of the law and not the right side. But Dinal, as you hear from Kwame just now, is really an example of you put in the work, you get results. It's simple and plain like that. You can't get results if you don't put in the work. Even if you have the lottery you buy, you still have to buy a ticket, you still have to put in the work for go stand up in the line and think about the number them and pay. Right? You still have to put in some amount of work. But those sleepless nights that Kwame spoke of, many of them, I think called beat season, when I just straight books. Because you have to put in the work, you have to get the results. And see it there? Man, I get the results. Right now, Deanall, you have a bag of letter back of your name. JP, BSc, MSc, LLB, and definitely not WANTED. So, we're happy for no say, we're there so we don't know and no BL money we are try collect for help you out. Right? But let me use the opportunity while I'm here to welcome you all officially and warmly so as well. To Deanall's mom, his stepdad, his father, his family, we say a very special welcome to you. To his friends from so many different institutions, a very special welcome to you. To his ARC family, where's Mr. Horn, and the entire team, we welcome you warmly this evening. And we are so happy that you're all here to celebrate with Deanall. There are some other people I want to welcome. I might have covered them already, you know, but make some noise if you have to stamp your passport for there so this evening. If your passport get a stamp, somebody who fly in from somewhere. Yeah, man, stand up, we're seeing you, man. Yeah, man. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to Jamaica, man. So happy to have you here. All right? Like I said, I say, you know, say a thing big, you know. All tourism your impact without even trying. Like, you know, you just hear and US dollars as I come in. We like it. Right? So everyone, anybody here from Ochi? Anybody flew in from Ochi? No? No? Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Very good. So they got their passport stamped too. Welcome to Kingston, man. Happy to have y'all fly over the toll and stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue, let us invite the blessing of the Lord because we shall certainly be dining in fine style this evening here at the Spanish Court Hotel. I'm going to invite Mr. Fidel Chambers, Deanall's stepdad, to bless the meal for us. Let us be reverent for prayer.
Good evening, my friends. You sound like my enemy. I said, good evening, my friends. Good evening. All right, that's much better. I like that. So let us ask God's blessing on this evening's activity. Father, your word says how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. We thank you this evening that you have provided that opportunity, that we can dwell in unity this evening to celebrate your own son, Deanall. We want to thank you for Deanall, who came from a simple family, but he has become a spark to the family, to the society, and to the nation as a whole. We thank you, Lord. And so, Father, this evening as we come to celebrate his achievement, I pray that you will tabernacle with us. I pray that nothing will be said this evening, Lord, that is unlike you. I pray, Father, that you will continue to take control of the evening's program. You have proven to us one more time, Lord, that you said that if we delight ourselves in you, you'll give us the desire of our heart. And that you have done for Deanall. You have also reminded us this evening when we look at Deanall that you said that unless you build a house, the laborer labor in vain. We thank you, Father, for being so good to Deanall. And so, Father, this evening, I pray that even the meal that we're about to eat, you will bless it and you will sanctify it, Father. But most of all, this evening, I pray that from the ceiling to the floor of this place, and from this pulpit to the door, I pray this evening, Lord, that somebody will be edified from this program. Satan will be horrified, but most of all, Lord, you will be glorified. This I ask in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chambers. So, ladies and gentlemen, this evening is all about celebrating Deanall, and we will have a number of tributes to him. And we'll also, well, Deanall, they say we're not going to talk the things them this evening, so I'm not going to talk anything. But I see a little thing here that says, the journey of Dinal T. Barnes. All right? And that certainly will take you down memory lane. And if nothing else for us, it should be an eye-opener into a little bit about who you are and where you're coming from, something we can all certainly appreciate. We also have entertainment for us this evening in two forms. We've got our in-house entertainment, and well, I suppose that will come. And also we'll hear from Samantha Wilmot. In fact, Samantha is next on our program. So, Sam?
Good night, everyone. You hearing me clearly? Good night? Good night. Okay, I must say it's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. To be honest, when I was asked, I wasn't really clear what I was coming to, but then it became clearer over time, and I was like, you know, this is a big deal for me. Why? Because I'm also an attorney. And I graduated in 2015, and I know exactly the amount of work and the sleepless nights and, you know, the amount of support that is needed, you know, for you to be here, Deanall. And I'd just like to say congratulations, and I wish you all the best. It's just starting. Master's next? No? All right, so congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
His fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly. his song. I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, strumming my pain with his fingers, singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. I felt so flushed with fever, embarrassed by the crowd. I swore he found my letters and read each one aloud. I pray that he would finish, but he just kept right on, strumming my pain with his fingers. Yes, he was singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his songs, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Whoa. Yes, he was singing my life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen, for Samantha Wilmot. That was such an amazing bit of work. Thank you so much, Samantha. I see that Deanall, you have a friend at the bar now. Yeah. All right. Oh, and you have others. No, man, no yourself. I don't see no shot of friend. You know? You're well-resourced, sir. Well-resourced. Isn't it time we heard from some family? What do you say? Yes, man. So let's invite Uncle Wilford. Uncle Will. Here comes Wilford Gale, ladies and gentlemen. Big up Uncle Wilford, man. And there's somebody raising the roof, you know, Uncle Wilford. Somebody says, yeah, go Uncle Wilford.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. I just want to correct where you see uncle, it's cousin. It should have been cousin. But anyway, I'm uncle, cousin, everything. Good evening, everyone. And welcome you all to this very special occasion. I am really feeling good that I can be a part of this celebration. Mr. Dinal Barnes, this is your evening. And certainly, we are here to congratulate you on your achievement. Family is really proud of you. I am, when this happened, you know, and I saw it running over the social media, all I said, it was congrats. For I know that this evening was coming, and I didn't want to spill any beans, so I keep it quiet. Mom, Dad, congratulations, and thank you for a brilliant son. When we look at your JP, BSc, MSc, LLB, being called to the bar, I know that was not attained just easily, but it's hard work and dedication. The back of the program speak volumes of you, Deanall, where it said, achievements seem to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. I know if you quit, you wouldn't achieve. And we are indeed grateful, and we thank you for, we all feel good as a family. You know, on reflection, I was thinking, and I said that years ago, a young man came from a rural district, came into Kingston, the C-bar man too, and he went to the highest level of leadership in this country. I speak no other than P.J. Patterson. So you see what we are looking at. We are looking at down the road. Yes, we'll see you in a different light moving forward. And we are looking for greater things from you. We are here to support you. And we will continue to do that. And we'll follow you right through. I know that you're a very good fan of Liverpool. But you know that I always encourage you to join me at Man City. but yeah, man. Yes, man. Well, you know that we are hope to give you a flagging. Yes. And as I said again, congratulations. We are here to support you. God bless you in your journey. Your journey has started, and now you have set the stage for further things. God bless you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Uncle Wilfred. I don't know how the uncle thing going on. If you're a cousin and you're older than me, I'm my uncle. The same as so, eh? So, big up Uncle Wilfred. And, you know, Uncle Wilfred, did I go on good enough? I say, yes, I'm ready, you know, I'm ready to get a full 2 thumbs up, you know. And then they go, Man City, Uncle Wilfred. Who trick you? No, man. Oh, you were living in Manchester? And you went on the blue side. Well, I guess you have to pick a side still. So, yeah, I realize I by default. I know your fault, but I by default. Eh? Again, thank you very much, Uncle Wilfred. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, you've started some of your dining, and that will continue. 2 tables will be served, and then the remainder of the tables, I will direct you to the buffet, which is at the rear of the room. We'll have some music for you to just continue enjoying your meal and each other's company. And look around the room. This is an excellent opportunity to network and to... Okay. 1 table will be served, great. And then the remainder will have to visit the buffet under my direction. But if you look around the room, you may see faces that you do not know. By a show of hands though, anybody here going to bite a stranger? If somebody that you don't know come up to you to say hi, you go and bite them or run them? Anybody? No. Perfect. So then, my instruction or advice to you is look around the room, and if there are faces that you don't know, please don't be shy. Don't be afraid to introduce yourself and start a conversation. It is something that Deanall would want. And remember when Kwame come up here, and what him and Kwame do? Knock on every female door until they found themselves a suitable candidate. Right? And just for good measure, they'd knock some more because bird can't fly for one wing. But there are children here. So I'll stop right there. Right? But please, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy each other's company, enjoy the meal. And after dinner, I'll return for us to enjoy a little more about Deanall and to hear from friends and family who have something to share about him. Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we'd resume in 7 minutes. I think I went a little over and just went into 8, but it's fine. How y'all feeling out there? Y'all good? Everybody all right? Great. Make some noise if you have work tomorrow. Big up everybody who have work tomorrow. Nice. How many of you don't have work tomorrow? Yeah, I can tell. But it's good that we can come out and celebrate an evening like this. And we'll get home early and on time, and we'll have wonderful days, very productive days at work, at your individual spaces. Some of you may work remotely. Others of you report to an office. Some, there are doctors here who will report probably to their practice or an emergency room tomorrow. Pero, which part of that tomorrow? Bustamante Children's Hospital. There you go. Doing good work for Caribbean children. No, big up the doctor, man. A good youth. Well, we have a number of professionals across the room. No, man, but it's a table almost full of doctors. I think there are 2, 3 doctors at that table, right? 2 are brothers, but all of them go one school. Right? Right? But, and let me tell you what I mean. When you look across the room, there are a variety of professional sectors represented here. And it's a bit of a testament to how open Deanall is. Because when you speak to him or speak with him, right, he can easily master the Queen's English and then him just talk some rabba and pattern when him feel like it, right? When him can hold a reasoning, and he can be an academic as well. And it's a good youth. It's a nice little mix that, right? Fit in anywhere you put him, right? At a formal dinner or a street dance, Venda is the man for all seasons. So, before we get to what I would want to call the fun and games, because these salutes on the right side of the program, on the inside, as you look and you'll see various ages, various areas of connection to Deanall. As I mentioned earlier, various professions will be represented. There's a speaker here who is not on the program but has to be on the program, and he will be included. And I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, when that gentleman steps to this lectern, you'll see another side of Venda's friends. But I haven't spoken to him just yet, but I'm pretty sure that he will not reveal any secrets. Right, Venda? You talked to him already, right? You make him know, say, there are children in the room. Right? But before we get to those, you might want to know, who is Dinal Barnes? So if you don't know where I'm coming from, you're not going to really have a full appreciation for the gentleman you know. Maybe there are some things about him that you're wondering, where could these things have come from? How could this be? Well, you'll learn about all those things right now through The Journey of Dinal Barnes, directed by Janice Brown Roberts, and she's a family friend. Janice, over to you. All right, hold on, no, Janice, pause it there, because it's a voiceover, ladies and gentlemen, and boy, it is certainly a journey. Look at the face of innocence. So many moons ago. Where are they now?
Thanks to you all for joining in the achievement seems to be connected with action. Successful men and women keep moving. They make mistakes, but they don't quit. Conrad Hilton. Thanks to you all for joining in the celebration of the man of the moment, the man of the evening, the man of the season, and of this era, Mr. Dinal Barnes. Let's celebrate the man. Please enjoy the journey to date of Dinal T. Barnes, D.T. Barnes, vendor, his whole name, while he was pursuing undergraduate and postgraduate programs at the University of the West Indies, Mona. The University of the West Indies, rated among the top universities in Latin America and the Caribbean. Yes, Dinal Barnes pursued his academic programs at the prestigious University of the West Indies, Mona.
Dinal Barnes.
Take a look. D.T. Barnes Minor, visionary from the start, pursuing with decisive steps and strategies in a specified direction with determination and the will to conquer the odds and the obstacles in order to be on top of the game of life. Pleasant viewing as you enjoy his stages of development.
Start that one, yeah. Like how Martin Luther King would have started. My dream, my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my dream is to live my dream. Hear the most I in me sleep when me sleep. Tell you my goal, my goal, my goal. All of my goal is.
Folks, you need to hear this. When we speak of a proactive visionary from the start, this young man, who was born at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, lived in Lime Hall, St. Anne for a short while during his junior years. He would normally walk to school with the other community children, but stopped at the Miss Nomi Kindergarten School where he first started. One morning, Deanall Barnes decided, I will not stop at Miss Nomi's school. He thought he had mastered the lessons, and so he continued on the journey with the other community children to the Lime Hall Primary School. He thought that school would challenge him in his pursuit to greatness. And so the following morning, Grandma Gloria Sr. had to visit the Lime Hall Primary School to formally register Dinal Barnes as a new candidate of this new school. We celebrate the visionary who started very early. We celebrate Margie Chambers, the mother of Dinal Barnes, who provided the necessary wind for Dinal to soar. Also, we celebrate Mr. Fredel Chambers, the stepfather of Dinal. Dean was always looking for a little money from Mr. Fredel Chambers in order to use it to buy drinks for his friends at Calabar High School and those he played football with while he was living at Corville Gardens. Hey, Corey. Thank you for being a good big brother for Dean. You defended him all the way. Dinal Barnes, though involved in so many engagements, find time for what matters most, family. Dinal showcased his valuable attributes from a young age. He was always goal-oriented, focused, and committed in supporting his family in every way possible. He was like the no-nonsense family captain. When he started attending school in Kingston, he would visit St. Anne and spend time with family. When he did so, he would set aside fun time with his nieces and nephews, but would also set time aside for educational lessons with them. They would march in line and answer the captain of the family. Yes, Uncle Dean. When their names were called, they would line up to answer the questions asked regarding educational lessons. Deanall, who is now a daddy, is displaying exemplary parental values so that his son, Dinal Barnes Jr., can adopt accordingly. The hunger for continued growth and professional development led Dinal Barnes to the field of law. I therefore engage you through pictorial illustration as he made final preparation for his graduation from the prestigious Norman Manley Law School right here in Kingston, Jamaica. Graduation held on Saturday, September 28, 2019.
I'ma start that one here. Like how Martin Luther King would have started. My dream, my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. Tell you my dream is believe my dream. Hear the most I in me sleep when me sleep. Tell you my goal, my goal, my goal. All of my goal is to reach my goal. Live a happy life, put it on me headstone. Nobody no fi cry over me dead. Look at me now, where them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. I mean, you tell you my life where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Me a take plane like JUTC. When you see me, it's on TV. Shows after shows after shows after shows. Tours after tours after tours after tours. When me name call is like roars after roars. Sweet melody and chords after chords. The lock of one door, me bust doors after doors after doors after doors after doors after doors. Look at me now, where them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. I mean, you tell you my life where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. The blessing just a flow over. This a copia and a cover. Judge a soldier from boardhouse to sidewalk to leather sofa. Them say me living at the coast and no track. No sir, me no mix up in a coca. Marijuana no dust to the nose. Can't get over. Oh no. Look at me now, where them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now. I mean, you tell you my life where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Me a thank God for me blessing. No, me can afford to give back to some of the same people. Them we used to set things. I who used to set him. Now boss him, can't boss them. Same when I take boss. Come on stage trophy, call up them, but me still a call up them. Boss them, but me can't trust them. See them, but me not touch. No give them, but me can't love them. Our next star rise again. Look at me now, where them treat me less than gold. Put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now. Oh, look at me now.
Outside of being a strategic business planner, a good communicator with excellent leadership skills, a visionary, while pursuing their own goals, they also focus on nation building and building a legacy. They do not only think about what's in it for me, but they also think about what's in it for others. The Ureton Primary School in St. Catherine can speak to the legacy that Dinal Barnes is presently building.
You tell you my life where them used to go round me, go round. No one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now.
Thanks to Grandma Gloria Sr., to the rest of the senior family, to Mr. Barnes, Errol Barnes, Dinal's dad, and to the rest of the Barnes family, cousins, aunts, uncles. Together, you supported Dinal up to this point in a very meaningful way. Thank you. We lift our hats to you, Mr. Norman Horn, Executive Chairman of Art Manufacturing Limited, for giving Dinal Barnes such dynamic and limitless growth-oriented opportunity to make his mark on the soil of Jamaica and not becoming part of the brain drain phenomenon. Thanks to you, Mr. Norman Horn, a people-centered leader with exemplary leadership qualities. We wish for your business even greater success. Art Manufacturing Limited, one of Jamaica's leading manufacturers and distributors of premium quality building materials.
Hi everyone. He didn't say a word or do an action that did not have a purpose. One of Bill Clinton's quotes. Deanall, this is just the beginning. You are an achiever, you are a star in the making. Shine on. Your confidence level was always high. For all those times of late night studies, lack of sleep, and sacrifice of enjoyment, your reward is here. You have reached an important goal by hard work and perseverance. Chasing a dream requires effort, passion, and hard work. This is a very proud moment for you. You have made everyone proud. All the hard work you have put in has paid off. Your reward lies ahead. Keep up the good work. The sky's your limit. Spread out your wings and soar high. You have worked hard to achieve your goal, and now you're on your way to seek new vista. Dream new dreams. Embark on who you are. Embrace life with passion and keep reaching for your star. Dinal, you are a truly great example to our son. As you cherish the fruits of your hard work, I wish that success keeps following you in everything that you do in your career. Your future is bright. We are so happy to be here celebrating with you this great milestone, Dinal. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. All the best. With God, all things are possible. Sashia.
Look at me now, look at me now, look at me now. When them treat me less than gold, put me in a box like a rectangle. Oh oh, look at me now, look at me now, look at me now. I mean, I tell you my life where them used to go round me, go round. How one used to come round me. My life was so lonely. Look at me now, look at me now, look at me now.
Let's hear it again for the man of the moment. Dinal Barnes. Well, I almost shed a tear or two a while ago. It was very touching. But, oh, by the way, vendor, I couldn't help myself, so I take some pictures here. Just some of those exclusive photos that nobody saw before. I got, no, listen. I will keep them to myself. This is not the kind of thing that you want to just share randomly. These pictures will be used strategically. Because, you know, stop, yes or you know, we know, say, it's an upward trajectory you're upon. So when we see you look like you're near the pinnacle, just, you know, somebody give you one page and say, boy, oh, go on. How them picture you look. Anyhow, thank you very much, Janice. Where Janice? Thank you very much for your journey, taking us on that journey of Dinal Terriano Barnes, vendor, the boss. All right, now it's time for the salutes. Ladies and gentlemen, what you hear in this room remains in this room. That's it. What you hear in this room remains in this room. But Deanall knows a wide variety of personalities and a wide variety of persons and professionals. And it's now time for us to hear from a number of them as they share probably some experiences, but most definitely what they appreciate most about our dear friend Deanall. So we will commence with a special investigation manager, a friend of Deanall, Richard Patterson. Oh no, please make him welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies, and of course to the man of the moment, Mr. Barnes, and his mother, Mrs. Chambers, our mums, as I refer to you from time to time, other family members and close friends. A few weeks ago, Mums called and asked me, well, she told me she was planning a surprise function for Deanall's celebration, and if I had anything doing on October 1 this time around. And my first response was, whatever it is that I had planned will have to be cancelled because I have to be here. Several days after, she called again and said if I could say a few kind words to Deanall at the function. And of course, again, I said yes, that would be my privilege and pleasure. Before I say those kind words, I'd like to say some kind words to you, mums, for making all of this possible. Not just for the planning of the event, but for being half responsible for the life that was created. And for the 40 plus years of guidance, yeah man, you're a big man, 40 plus years of guidance and care, nurturing, to the man that he has now become, that we are all proud of. And I beg you, don't leave his side just yet. His journey is not yet complete. I know, and I guess most of the men inside here, regardless of the age, 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, whatever, we always can rely on our mother to give us that base, that guidance, helping us to be better fathers, better husbands, better men, better leaders in society. Now, Deanall and I, we go back about 30 years. 30 years. Thereabouts. Firstly, from our community in Cobble Gardens, where as teenagers and at school, as play our football and had fun, young and innocent then. But I think our friendship blossomed further when I joined the bank in 1993, NCB at Duke Street. Unbeknown to me, Deanall applied to the bank also the following year, 94, and was successful. And as fate would have it, he was sent to the 2 Duke Street branch where I was working. And of course, we became much closer. We formed a little pack then for about 9 or 10 close friends. And as youngsters in our early 20s, it was all about fun. Bank work, fun, mustering. We were all over the place at movies, stage show, weekends at North Course, and all over the place. No, man, we're not getting into the details. We're not getting into the details, but it was fun. Friends that still exist. 2 persons of the pack that was from Melanie and Charmin are at the back in Deanall's celebration. And I said, we were all over the place having fun. Those were the days when we were young and wild, limited responsibility. I remember when I got a bus, I will say back then, when I think I was the first one out of the pack to purchase a car. In 94 it was, a 1988 Ford Festiva that I purchased for $185,000. The car had 2 doors, but in most evenings it was packed with 5, 6, 7 of us, all over the place, having fun. But Deanall did not stay in the bank for too long. At this stage, I'm sure he would have been in senior management now, but he always had a fixation for education and further learning. So he left and went on to the university for full-time studies. But our friendship never waned, because myself started university at the same time, albeit part-time. So I'll see him on campus, and I would visit him at Chancellor every now and then. And hence the start of his journey. And of course, they say the rest is history. Bachelors with distinction, masters with distinction, and of course, we are celebrating his law degree. The latter being achieved while he was climbing the corporate ladder, and of course, it was mentioned earlier, being an executive at ARC Manufacturing, which is one of the leading companies in Jamaica. For me, what I admire most about Deanall, outside of what has been said, is while having this vast intellect, he has the common touch. So he can have a conversation with a prime minister, a university professor, but he still has that ability to have a conversation with someone semi-educated without letting that person feel uncomfortable or without himself feeling uncomfortable. And that is a balance. We have multiple discussions. We can have discussions on very serious issues which we do from time to time, on politics, which we argue a lot about, social conditions in Jamaica, the economy. And the next 10 minutes, we'll be joking and laughing about stupid things, which youngsters do. I don't think in our 30 years of association we ever had a quarrel or any major disagreements outside of liquor politics. I mean, we always see eye to eye because we are such similar persons and have, similar upbringings, grew up in Corville Gardens, joined this bank at the same time, went to high school that is off Redders Road. We are both February men, 2 days apart. So we have a lot of commonness, but we see eye to eye in most things. There's just one little thing that we don't see eye to eye. And I think it has to do with his sight. Initially we thought he was short-sighted, so we got the glasses, but the problem persists. We later found out that he was somewhat colorblind. And so things that should appear green to him naturally oftentimes appear orange. That's the only thing, but we're working on it. And for your Christmas, sir, I promise I'll buy some candles. And I'll write you that lovely song. And hopefully, you'll light a candle, sing a song, find your way back home. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. We have in our presence a very good youth. Ambitious, driven, but he has never lost that touch with family and friends and need to serve, concern for country and development. And that is probably one of the things that is lacking in this country. So when we have youths like Deanall, we have to recognize and laud him. So for me, sir, it's a privilege being your friend, and I would say brother. I've known you for almost 30 years. And I know what it is. Mums, I've gone through it to see the pride and joy in my mother's eye when I achieve. So I know what you're going through. And I just ask that you will continue to be the son that you are, the brother that you are, and the friend that you are to us. Continue to be a good citizen. And we as your friends and family will continue to be behind you. And hopefully we will reconvene the next year or two with some other special accomplishment that you, I know, will achieve so we can once again celebrate. Thank you, sir, for being my friend and my brother. And I trust that you will continue to strive. Congratulations, sir, for all that you have accomplished. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Richard. And I hope that your wishes for Deanall's prosperity will come to life while he's on a path of progress at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Deanall's cousin, Kimberly Blackwin. Please make her welcome.
Good evening, guests. All protocols observed. Our honorary celebrant, Mr. Dinal Barnes, we all want to congratulate you for all your years of perseverance and dedication in your studies. You definitely deserve our hats off to you. We salute you, Sir Deanall, and like the symbol of your alma mater, you are majestic, courageous, graced with strength, lion-hearted and fearless. Jamaica will definitely hear you roar. We pray God's blessings and guidance for this new season in your life. This accomplishment has brought great pride and celebration to our family. Thank you, Sir Deanall. We love you. And I'm definitely sure my great-grandparents, your grandparents, will be so proud to see you here. And I also want to say, Deanall, you have done a whole lot for us. And I'm sharing a memory. At age 17 years old, I did my first job interview with National Youth Service. At that time, you'd go to the office to find out if you were selected. So myself and my friends, we all went to the office. Everyone was selected except me. I went home and I told my aunt Sanji that I wasn't selected, and she said, "Mega call Deanall." So she called Deanall. Dean told me to go to the office the following day. When I went to the NYS office, went to the person who he sent me to, they said, "You're Deanall's cousin?" And I said, "Yes." And that was it. I had my first job experience. Being placed at the Bridgeport Primary School for that summer. Thank you, Dinal. We love you.
Earlier I mentioned that he's a very well-resourced gentleman, and there's the evidence now. Because he had a list, which apparently the NYS didn't have. And Kim's name was on it. So he said, "But this must be an error. I got a list, Kim's name is on it. I should probably just fax it over to them." So that's what happened. That's exactly what happened. But, you know, say, Deanall, I want a visa, you know, I say. I want to fly out, you know, the links. Uncle Sam, your distant cousin. I don't know. I'm just teasing. Anyhow, thank you very much, Kimberly, for your contribution. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we will hear from 3 Chancellorites. 3 Chancellorites. Now, while Dinal lived in Chancellor Hall, he was on Block I, or Block A, right? And the Block A was a spine brother to Block C, Block Che. So now we will hear from one of Dinal's spine brothers, Clayton Lawrence. And we can introduce a man from Chancellor and not talk about him whole name.
Exactly. I agree.
So Clayton Heavyhead Lawrence.
Clayton Lawrence is enough. Clayton Lawrence is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Dinal, Tariano, Fender, Rumi, Junkie Barnes. A man of many names, but these names depict a unique characteristics of Dinal. Personality, that is. Based on the Urban Dictionary of Names, the name Dean, which Dinal comes from, is said to be a lovable guy who girls fall in love with easily. I didn't say it, the dictionary said it. Tariano. Tariano is said to be someone who is greatly affiliated and has a great appreciation of football. A vendor. A vendor is an individual with unique skills in marketing themselves in such a way that they often fetch a higher price than the market is willing to pay. Romy, or Romeo, is a charming gentleman who is capable of chatting himself to paradise. Junkie. The junkie is an individual hopelessly addicted to some form of abused substance. Dinal is hopelessly addicted to helping others, even at times to his own detriment. The word Barnes, derived from a Scandinavian name, Bjorn, is used to define a young man who has or is in the line of knighthood, but first he has to prove himself. Like many of us in this room, Kwame and Dinal come from. We have tried many paths, some of which, of course, can't be spoken about here, especially in the presence of his mom and grandmother, so I won't speak of them any further. Dinal is what we call a straight talker. The type of person who country people refers to as don't put their mouth to the ground when they speak. In other words, he tells you exactly how he sees it and when he sees it. He's the type of friend that everyone needs to have in their lives. Someone who will tell you the raw truth with absolutely no sugarcoating. So if you are thin-skinned, God help you. There are several personality traits that Dinal has that I admire. And I'm sure with the aid of these personality traits, his field of choice, be it legal or otherwise, he will master whatever field it is that he pursues. These traits include his ability not to wear his emotions on his face, something I must admit he tried to teach me. Also, his calm demeanor and his genuine care for others. Behind this sophisticated, witty, charming individual is a down-to-earth young man who enjoys some of the simplest things in life. Dinal cherishes and looks forward to driving to St. Anne to visit Miss G, his grandmother, for some good juice. He's someone who loves blended fruit juice, so he believes his grandmother prepares the best fruit juice you can ever think of. He also looks forward to spending quality time with his first lady, who is his mom, who persons call sister and other names. He also looks forward to a good Sunday football, which he struggles now to keep up with the pace, but he still looks forward to it. He also embraces playing a good game of domino or Scrabble with his brother. What this demonstrates is how much Dinal appreciates the importance of family. On many occasions, Dinal would say to me, he works as hard as he works, so his mom doesn't have to work as hard, so his grandmother can travel as often as she wants, so his son can be enrolled in the most prestigious university in the States, and just in general, to help others. His kindness has absolutely no boundaries. Dinal, you're a friend, a brother, whom I've learned a lot from throughout our friendship. I have never had a reason to question your sincerity or your loyalty. The only thing I questioned earlier, but unfortunately I have to agree with you now, was when you told us you used to wear a high top here back in the days. I thought it was the only lie you told me. I've known Dinal for almost 20 years, and I've never seen a strand of hair in his head. Never. Well, prior to the video that I've seen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are drinking something, lift your glass as we give our toast to a friend, a brother, a father, a son, an uncle, a friend, and a loving one. Dinal, Tariano, Venda, Romy, Junkie Barnes, a man of many names. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawrence. And when you talk about a diamond in the rough, this is one such. Because when we met Heavyhead many years ago, boy, it did rough. Very rough. But he's grown and become quite polished and a shining star this evening. Thank you very much, Clayton Lawrence. Well done, sir. Well done, well done, well done. Ladies and gentlemen, today is Tuesday, and there's a little place on Duke Street called Gordon House. I don't know how many of you watch parliamentary proceedings on PBCJ, but you'll hear from the next two speakers who represent both sides of the house, so to speak. First, let me invite a former guild president, a former hall chairman at Chancellor Hall, a current policy advisor, and the current deputy general secretary of the People's National Party, Mr. Basil Waite.
You need a pen? You need a pen? I won't say anything incriminating. Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremonies. Dinal and family, his grandmother,
mother, stepfather, other friends and well-wishers, good evening. I remember it was August 1995. I was External Affairs Chairman and Chancellor Hall, and we wanted to beat Taylor Hall in sports. So we were recruiting the new students. I was over by social sciences, our assembly hall, somewhere in that area. And I saw this young man dressed from head to toe in Nike gear. Cap, t-shirt, Levi's jeans, and Air Jordan shoes. And I went over and I asked, are you a basketballer? He said, yes. And we spent 5 minutes talking and I recruited him to Chancellor Hall. He agreed to meet me in the Porter's Lodge in 15 minutes. I waited 45 minutes and there was no sign. So we launched a hunt because this guy looked promising, tall and strapping. He was found walking down Queensway with his knapsack to leave the university campus. And we summoned him. And he lived on Block A and he became hall chairman. The rest is history. But that is the nature of Dinal Barnes. We lived on the same block, and I was one of those responsible for breaking him in and showing him the ways of Chancellor Hall. Some people call it ragging, but it was just orientation, and a number of us here went through it. There was one day we were in the Porter's Lodge on the liming bench, liming. And a young lady came asking for Tariano. And we were saying, who is Tariano? Vendor had this way of being the best dressed man on Chancellor Hall going to classes. He never liked the name Vendor at the time. So when he was approaching the ladies, he would say, I am Tariano. And she came to Chancellor Hall asking for Tariano. That is how we knew his middle name. And so that is one of the names he went by when we referred to him. But on a serious note, and unassuming, by the way, Ray basketball, I don't think he played one day for Chancellor Hall. And he struggled to make the Hall team in football, but he's a lover of the game. But he grew much more than that. He became a part of the glue that held the Hall together. He was friends with everyone on every single block in Chancellor Hall and off campus. And I remember when I was running for Hall chairman first, he was a key part of the support team. And when I was running for Guild president, he was very instrumental in getting support over in the Faculty of Social Sciences. And he himself became a member of the Guild. And he himself became Hall chairman for Chancellor Hall. And from then, we saw that he had greatness in him. And he always spoke about his mother. Always. And we have done many trips together. All of his friends can tell you. We have been to St. Anne to eat at his grandmother's home. We have been to St. Elizabeth. We have been all over, and whatever he's pursuing, whether he's in Turkey representing Arkan business or wherever, he finds time for his friends. And personally for me, he's somebody who I could go to. By the way, let me recognize Animal Approach, who is a Minister of State in the Ministry of Labor. But let me just say that Dinal is somebody who personally I can go to at any time for advice and for support. And persons have said before that you can count on him to be a straight talker, to tell you the truth unvarnished, and that is absolutely true. Another hallmark of Dinal is he's always striving to better himself, to be the best, and he enjoys the good things in life, but he never ever forgets where he's coming from, and he can walk with kings and never lose the common touch. That is the nature of our friend who we are celebrating here today. So, on this milestone of becoming an attorney at law, I'm sure I'm going to need you in the future. I want to salute you on this achievement. It could not have been easy. We know that. Working and balancing, going to school and working. And we look forward to supporting you as you go forward to this next stage of your journey. You have always been here for us, and we will always be here for you. And from the other Chancellorites are here, but I just want us to sing one verse of the Hall song. We are, well, that is Black Eye. Chancellor stands brave and tall, conquering lions all. Irving and Taylor Place, fear the great lion's face. With Bobo, king of all shall hail Chancellor Hall. Champs of today, as we were yesterday. Chancellor, the lion's den, Bobo, we will defend. We are by the test, clearly above the rest. To stop us, there are none. Chancellor rights will forward on, still determined, as we were yesterday. Salute.
Yes, indeed. Basil Waits, a.k.a. Bob. I don't have him official hall name. And rally back. Ah, boy. I tell you, the years. So, I did make mention of Parliament, and we've heard from one side of the House. It is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for us to hear from a businessman, an attorney at law, the Member of Parliament for Southwest St. Anne, representing the Jamaica Labour Party, and Minister of State in the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, Xavier Main, known otherwise to us as Animal Approach. Let us make him welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And while he's here, while he's on his way, I also like to recognize another Chancellorite and man of eye, Ricardo Taz James.
You are a wicked man. You are a wicked man. Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremony. Crab, indeed, crab. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You know, I got a text on my phone that there is supposed to be a surprise birthday party for Venda today. Surprise party, actually, not birthday, surprise party. So in the true Chancellor spirit, I was expecting to come and find Mans of Chancellor. We are drinking rum and we will sing some of the songs that we are known to sing on Chancellor. So I was very surprised when I came in and I saw a program, you know, in celebration of the academic and professional achievements of Dinal Barnes. I know Saturday it was graduation at law school, but I wouldn't come here to celebrate his attainment or his graduation from the law school because I always know him as a lawyer. It's just that he was a village lawyer. So, so now he has attained his certificate in legal education. And it's not surprising to me because when the thought came about in his head that he wanted to pursue law, I was one of his reference points. And I did say, brethren, if I did it, so too can you. Go forth and conquer. So, Dinal, you know, we are here to celebrate. I really don't know what I'm here to celebrate. But I will use this opportunity to say thanks to you because you have been, and I'm sure others here, because I see that table there of Chancellor Rights and I see Taz further on and Bob. But you have been one of those persons who you are responsible for who I am today. Because when I came to Kingston as a true countryman, leaving St. Anne, coming to the University of the West Indies, it was persons like Dinal Barnes and others, as I have highlighted. But you, because you were very good with, you're very creative, that you would have taken me under your arms and you said, listen, I see some potential in you and I want to help you to grow and develop as much as I have. Let me give you an example. The very first time we go at JLP headquarters, Dinal Barnes take me there. Yes, I remember, yes, sorry, I had to say that. I remember we were promoting Spectrum. And we, at the time, because he was the all chairman and I was his deputy. So even in the development, my development throughout campus years and my involvement in student leadership, where at the time when he advanced to the office of all chairman for Chancellor Hall, I was right there as his deputy. And we were promoting Spectrum because at the time Spectrum was a big thing. Super seniors, past Chancellor Rights, they were very involved because this was part of the tradition of the hall. And it was important that we put on a good show. And we were at a point where we had no money. And I don't know how it came about, and he got a connection to the current Minister of Entertainment. And we were invited to a meeting at Belmont Road. And then out of that meeting, we were directed to Dominica Drive to have a discussion with a gentleman who was working in a microfinancing operation. That gentleman today is the Prime Minister. So not only was it Deanall who gave me my first travel to Belmont Road, but it was through his advocacy I had my very first discussion with a gentleman who now serves as the Prime Minister of Jamaica. So my political growth, so I can say to you that throughout my university years, Chancellor Rights, we have a thing about us. If the semester is 10, was it 10 or 12 weeks? Whatever it was. 90% of the period, we were very cavalier. An integral part of our campus life on Chancellor was sports. So when it was basketball, everybody a basketballer. I hear Bob talking about it. Barnes here on paper was the biggest footballer till you put him on the field. I hear that him have the record he missed the most goal in a single match. 30 goals in a one match. He missed. But the point I'm making is that when it comes around to exam time, he was one of those persons who would say to us, listen, Bridget, you come from country, and at the end of the day, you have to go back with a piece of paper. You have to cut out some of the foolishness. Now at the time to beat your book. And late night studies was a commonplace. And when it touched 1 or 2 o'clock, you'd find him moving around just to ensure that we are up and we are studying our books. Because that is the kind of person, that is the kind of leader that he was. Our success was very important to him as much as his success was important to himself. And I remember when I took a decision, I was asked to run in a certain constituency. And I said, boy, you know, we all love politics. I you know, from the campus time, you know, you have the activists for the People's National Party led by Bazoit. And you have the JLP who really never had a voice. But I was raised in a certain home, so automatically I had to follow a certain line. But when I took a decision to enter politics, he's one of the first men I called. I said to him, boy, Barnesy, you know, this is what has been placed in front of me. And these are the issues. These are the considerations. Because, one, it was at a time when I really was cementing myself as a lawyer, just moving through the courts, being familiar with the judges, winning a few cases here and there, trying to build a name. And I said, boy, you know, this thing seemed like it come at the wrong time. But I get a good seat because the seat has a history. And certain things never go right, but if I can fix it, I should be all right. And he gave me the kind of encouragement that I never anticipated. Because I asked other people, you know, other persons who I thought would, you know, at the time, perhaps they were giving me a very objective position. Because, and he said, boy, listen to me, man. You know what it is to be a winner. Go for it. If you allow this opportunity to pass you, it will not come back. Go for it. And I said to him, boy, you know, I don't have the money, you know. Because when I spend out all of my money, it still can't go run the election. And he said to me, listen, I am a PNP. In change, you know. By the time them change. Move from green, gone all the way to ripe, orange. And him say, you know, I am a PNP, but you are my friend. And I am going out there to help you. And I will tell you that just as he said, knowing very well that nobody within the party would expect him to take such a position. But from the day we had the first discussion up to today, he has helped me. And in my election, during my campaign, he did what he could to ensure that financially I was able to run a successful campaign. Now, so I really want to say thanks to you for the role that you have played in my holistic development. You are more than a friend to me. You're actually my brother. And I am just here to share that with you. And I know you're a lawyer now, but there's nothing you can do in this world that ever, nothing positive that will ever be a surprise to me. And for that, I want to say that as your brother, because I know you consider me as your brother, you have my 100 support. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Main. And that story is just a testament to the character of Dinal Barnes. Because we all know in Jamaica, when you talk about political rivalry, sometimes it is really just lunacy. And this man does not let any kind of political difference in ideology or view affect his friendship. Well done, sir. I already know that long time, but we're just going big up in the night, same way, right? Now, our next speaker, so that closes Parliament, ladies and gentlemen. Our next speaker is a classmate of Dinal from the Norman Manley Law School. I don't know much about the gentleman, but we'll all learn about him when he shares about Deanall, his experience with Deanall as a classmate. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Marlon Bennett.
Mr. Master of Ceremonies, the man of the hour, Mr. Dinal Barnes, distinguished guests. Now, lawyers have the dubious distinction of making long speeches, but tonight will be an exception. Now, my association with Dinal is not etched in colorful stories like that of Messieurs Lawrence, Waite, and Maine. But suffice it to say, I've known him since 2017. We have been members of the same tutorial group, Group J. And one thing I can say about him is that he is the consummate team player and a gentleman. One who is always willing to lend off his time and resources to ensure that we all attain the same goal. Now, lawyers are normally novices in accounting, and his antecedents are rich in accounting, so he took it upon himself to assist practically the entire Norman Manley Law School year 2 in accounts. And as a result of his efforts, I don't think anyone got less than a B in accounting, thanks to Dinal. Now, he's always encouraging us, as Mr. Main has said, when it comes down to exam time, he's always urging us on to study, always checking in upon us, saying, Marlo, you're good, and he's always there for us. So, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, if you're drinking something, please lift your glasses to a fine gentleman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. I swear for a moment a while ago, I feel I'm in a courthouse and I get a character reference for Dinal. That delivery was, wow, yeah. Are you a lawyer? Dinal, man, are you a lawyer? Am I going to represent you? Yeah, man. Him sound like the man for the job. Just cool, man. Him sound like the best, man. Him sound like the best out there. Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard from her earlier, and now we'll hear from her again for the final time tonight. Please, another warm, effervescent welcome to our entertainment, Samantha Wilmot.
Okay, so all I ask this time is that if you know the song, please feel free to. And a bright man. Bright. Your friend them bright. You hear Dinal? Bright set of people. Go ahead.
Oh, what a night. What a night. What a night. Hey, I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good, feel good. I feel good when your perfume is loud, that only I can talk about. Feel good, feel good. It feels like velvet rub under my skin. And then your hair, it dance under my chin. Wish we were alone, baby, just the two of us. And every move you make gives me a rush. Ooh, wine some more. Wanna go night? Make believe we are alone, just you and me. Take your problems, leave them behind. Don't let it show. Baby, go. Baby, go. I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Sing it. Feel good. Oh, I feel good when your perfume is loud, that only I can talk about. Feel good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What a night, what a night. Cha, cha. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, na, 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 yeah. All right, next on the note I want you to know. Ready? Listen. Remember the songs used to make you rock away. Yes, we dance all night to the songs they play. We can. Ooh, wine some more, show me that love unconditionally. Make believe we are alone, just you and me. Take your problems, leave them behind. Don't let it show. Baby, go. I feel good when you're wrapped up in my arms, dancing to a reggae song. Feel good. And I feel good when your perfume is loud. Feel good. Oh, yeah. Oh, what a night, what a night, what a night, yeah. What a night, what a night. Hey, you feeling good? Dinal, you feeling good? Oh, what a night, what a night, what a night, yeah. Feel good. Congratulations again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for Samantha Wilmot. Album coming out 2020. She's in a studio right now. All right. Anyway, thanks so much, Sam. We know you got to run, so we wish you safe travels, and thank you so much for being with us here tonight. Give her another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Samantha Wilmot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we enter a season of salutes from a more professional and family-oriented setting. And to start us off, let us invite Mr. Ark himself, Norman Horn. Welcome, Norman. Without Norman right now, vendor is somewhere else at work. But Norman saw something, and here he is today. So let's hear from Norman.
Chairman Garth Williams, I know for a fact that Dinal did not put you up to this or paid you to do this, because the fact is that Dinal was as surprised as can be coming here this afternoon. So who did? Was it you, Mommy? You think so? All right, there you go. Well done, very good job, Chairman. Let me bow to you. Dinal's mom, I truly believe that if there's one person that have more discourse or engagement with Dinal than I do, is his mama. And he talks a lot about his mommy. Mom, good job. Very good job. Stepdad, grandma, brother, and father. Good evening, everyone. I'm not sure where to start, and many persons have already talked about family, talk about school days, university. So I'll just go straight to work and the relationship that I've enjoyed so far with Dinal over the years. I believe it started, Dinal, about 15 or so years ago. 15 or so years ago, I decided that I wanted to meet students at the university who were doing a master's program and was close to graduating and ready for the work world. And so I put myself at the Pegasus, and I had a number of recommendations. I had various semi-interviews with a number of young men and women. At the end of the day, this gentleman walked behind me to the elevator and said to me, "It was really a pleasure meeting you. I really like what you had to say. And maybe we can meet again and talk some more about the possibilities of part-time work at ARC." And I said to him, "Fine. ARC is at 14 Bell Road. Come on down tomorrow, let's talk about it." Bright and early he showed up. Barnes, I think it's probably about 7:30, you were there. I walked in at about 8:15, and he said to me that there's a gentleman here to see you. Well, I wasn't expecting him, by the way. You know, there's much talk, much promises, much to say, but very little to do. But in fact, he was there. And we talked for a bit, and I said, "Why did you come here?" He says, "I came for two reasons. One, I'm ready to work. And two, I need to pay, I think it was $252,000 to complete my school fees for graduation." So we have two choices. You can lend it to me, or I can work for it. But one or another, I want us to plot a course towards my graduation, and that's it. Well, to make a long story short, I loaned Deanall the $252,000 interest-free. And he said that he would have paid me back on a specific date. I never had to call him. On that day, bright and early, I got an envelope with the repayment. On time. And I said, "There's something about this young man. It's the first Jamaican borrow that I've had, whether here or abroad, right? That I didn't have to engage a collection process in order to collect." And he was on time. Barnes came to ARC, and they called him a sprat. You know, a sprat, as you know, is a small fish and very often used for bait. And there were so many persons who said that, you know, "I'm giving him 2 weeks. That's it. We're going to chew him up and spit him out. He'll be out of here." And if you know Barnes, Barnes is a socialite, and he's a talker. And he's an authority in a number of areas. And people say, "Look at him. Who does he think he is?" And therefore, last Saturday, we had a retreat. And on the list of questions that were asked, one question: who have had the most offices in ARC? Meaning moving from one location to the next, to another, to another. And when the counts were completed, Barnes have had 15 different offices in ARC. So the journey is from a sprat to JP as on this program, BSc undergrad degree bachelor's, graduate degree master's, LLB. And guess what is missing from this program? Pardon me? CEO. CEO is missing. There are 3 companies in the ARC group here in Jamaica. and there are 2 companies overseas. So as of October 1 this year, Mr. Barnes, Dinal Tariana Barnes, got the appointment of CEO for the most mature company of the group. So Mr. Barnes, 14 years ago you was a sprat, and today you're the king of arc manufacturing. But let me share with you that arc manufacturing is, in my view, a mature company. I have managed to take it from nothing to now a $14 billion Jamaican company. And I expect Mr. Barnes to take it from 14 billion to a much higher number. And I have absolutely no doubt that the shareholders of Arc Manufacturing are not only delighted and satisfied with his appointment, but are looking forward to the rewards in dividends. Dividends. I want to share with you before I take my seat a few experiences with Barnes working together. I consider him my anchor man. In the sense that there are times when we have to be in different places at the same time. So I may be in Turkey, he may be in China, or Brazil, and so forth. But I recall once Barnes went to Turkey for work. And he's a man who likes to shop. He likes to get out of the hotel and walk around. There was a riot in Turkey, in Taksim Square, as a matter of fact. And I called to warn him that there's a riot, be careful. He says, boss, I'm in the middle of it. I'm trying to find my way back to the hotel. Well, you know, I must have made about 100 calls to him in the space of less than half an hour until he gets back to his hotel. But come to think about it, Barnes have been probably the only black man in the middle of Taksim Square at that time. So I guess you'll be honored rather than being offended. We were in China and we're working the western part of China. As you know, the majority of Chinese population are on the East Coast. And we were having dinner in this town. And there were a tremendous amount of Chinese persons lined up outside. And when I look outside, I was wondering, why are these folks lined up? We started to exit the restaurant, and then they held on to Dinal. They were saying, can I take you home to show my mommy and my grandma? They have never seen a black person live in all of their lives. And they want to take him home. Now I'm saying, but what about me? I'm black too. They want to take Barnes home. Similarly, we were in Turkey on the border, was it Iraq? The border of Iraq, Syria. The border of Syria and Turkey. We had a massive shipment of clinker. We were loading a clinker ship. They were shipping this clinker to the west. And there were a tremendous amount of mortar. So to keep Barnes calm, I'm telling him, listen, it is not the Civil War. You know, people are celebrating, right? And the next day I went to a restaurant again. It wasn't as much of a line as we witnessed in Turkey, but there were a number of persons also. They came to greet Barnes. Two things. They thought, one, he was this massive football star. And second, again, they have never seen a black person in all their life. But this time around, he not only enjoyed the celebrity of being black, I enjoyed it too, because they were touching my skin, rubbing my skin, and we're having some discussions about color and seeing a black person for the first time. Turkey is our favorite spot. Istanbul is where we hang out and we have fun. And don't worry, Ashley, it's all business. And we decided that there's this restaurant that requires about 6 months. 6 months worth of advance reservation to dine at this restaurant. And somehow we intended to visit a restaurant beside that restaurant. But not having knowledge that we're at the wrong restaurant, we showed up. They asked, do you have a reservation? And we said yes. They searched the reservation book. The maitre d', there's no reservation for Horn. That's me. And I said, but we have a reservation. And somebody came around and says, listen, oh, Tariano, greatest football player for, what's it called? What's the name of the football team? Galatasaray. Greatest football player. And Barnes immediately said, yes, this is my security. And my second security. And then all three of us. Listen, the red carpet was laid. We walked in. Persons came over asking for autographs. And Barnes just signed away, Major Thatcher football player. We have had a lot of fun working together and doing business. Barnes has moved from a sprat to a supervisor in the accounting division at ARC, to an assistant manager, to a manager, to be in charge of the commercial division, to a general manager, and now the CEO of ARC Manufacturing Limited. Lastly, when Barnes took his sojourn to law school, and he said, like P.J. Patterson, I'll be back. Many persons did not believe him. They said, you know, being a lawyer, invest this amount of time, he's heading straight to a law firm. And so there were a lot of bets. Persons thought that I had too much confidence in Dinal because I betted that he would come back. And of course, needless to say, he's back. But for my MP friend, is he still here? My MP friend Xavier, 2004, I was a member of the Jamaica Labour Party then. And Mr. Barnes just come into ARC, says, boss, listen, I will work with you. I'll give you as much support as I can. But bear one thing in mind. When I get behind that screen tomorrow, the X is going right beside the head. Right beside the head. And so we had a very short stint in the Labour Party. But thereafter, we went back home. We both went back home. So we did light a candle, we did sing a songky, and we did went right back home to the People's National Party. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that contribution, Norman. And congratulations, Deanall, on your ascension to CEO of ARC Manufacturing. IPO listing soon? I don't know. All right. Thank you very much, sir, for that one, because first in line, you know. First in line, right? I think even today, the JSE launched the manufacturing exchange, if I recall correctly. I'm seeing something like that today. So there's an opportunity right there, ripe and ready. A number of companies are already listed. Anyhow, I won't bore you with the news tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So, Norman, well done, sir. Thank you very much. And let me tell you, you talk about proactive. So you remember the story that Janice told earlier when Dinal did tired of basic school and feel say a primary school time. No. Right? That level of proactiveness, that visionary mentality. It's the same thing. The audacity of this young man for walk up to Norman and say, listen, it's either you're going to lend me the money or you're going to give me a work. You choose, but one way or another. And then his honesty and stick-to-itiveness to return the funds in full on time. Yeah, man, these are the character traits of an excellent gentleman, and something that I wish more would be exposed to and even better to follow. Let's now hear, ladies and gentlemen, from some close ones to Deanall, from his family. So first we'll start with cousin Quan Wilson.
So I got the wrap-up call, so I won't be as long as, right, I had intended. I had a speech here, but I'll just cut it short. So some clarification. Earlier in the program, I heard persons speaking about a sea hall, and they referred to only Chancellor Hall. We need some balance in the place. We have another sea hall, Canada Hall, the all of all. Let us start and sing the song. Sorry. Anyone here? All right. The next thing I want to balance is I am from the Barnes family, and I've been hearing Dinal. The Barnes side, we call him Deanall. So we stress the Deanall, so instead of the Dinal. So that's another balance in the mix. I use the word balance a lot since I've started because that is the term I want to describe Mr. Barnes as, balance. We have not spent a lot of time together, but whenever we meet and link up, what I get from him is balance. If I'm making a decision, if I'm transitioning any career, I go and I speak to Mr. Barnes, and what I get is a balanced report. And I want to say that, Dinal, your mother, I truly respect her for, the role she has played in your life. And I know, as what persons have said before, that you are who you are because of the seed that she has planted in your life and her continued support. So in this time, I want to congratulate you, but I also want to congratulate your mother for all that she has done and all that she continues to do in your life. And we know, family, you are a family man. Every time we meet, you are the one who want to bring the family together. So family is important to you, and I have taken that on. My son, when he was leaving for university, I said, you cannot leave without Deanall coming to speak with you. And Deanall said, I have an appointment now, but if I even 15 minutes, may I come and give my talk. And so said, so done. The 15-minute extend, Deanall, 15 minutes is not 15 for him. So it extend to about an hour. But that hour, is a life-transforming hour that was spent. And we just sit down and, we plan a little get-together. We not even eat food or anything. We just sit down and just talk and just reason. And I felt that my son was given such a integral push just before his transition into a new life. And I think, as the other speakers have said, you are a man who, when it's time for decision or crunch time, you are the person to speak to. So congratulations. I'm wrapping up. Thanks again for the time.
To close out the salutes, I won't ask these ladies, the leading ladies in Deanall's life, to even leave the table. First, we'll hear from Grandma Gloria and then from his mother.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't even know what to say this afternoon because so much has been said. But first I must give God the glory, the honor, and the praise because he has blessed me with this wonderful grandson. And I am speaking of Dinal Barnes. I have to specify him specially because I have other grandsons here, quite a few of them. But I am blessed by God to have him. I had the privilege of nurturing him in his early stage of life. About when he was 3, I stepped over to help my daughter with him because she had 2 sons, named Corey and Deanall at the time. And then she had to work, she had to go to work, and so I think it was very hard for her as a single parent. And so I took Deanall. And he grew up just as an ordinary child. But as it was said already, that he went to kindergarten when he was 3. And by the time he was about 5, he walked away. Because he think that was school, that place was too far. Too small for him. And so he went to the bigger school. We called it big school at that time. He went to big school and sit with the bigger kids. And so when I heard of it, I had was to go down there and speak to the teachers. And so they enrolled him. When I visited this school at any time, they would tell me, oh, this boy is a brilliant boy. He's very brilliant. And so he went on and growing up as an ordinary child, playing his cricket, and usually with green grapefruit or sour orange, they would play the cricket around the home. But don't joke with him on his schoolwork. When he comes home from school, you would not hear a sound of him. When you search, you will find him sitting at the table as Patterson. You only want his collar and his gown, sitting up around that table doing his homework. And he would do anything else until he's finished that homework. And I believe that one of the time his uncle went to help him to do it. We would not accept any help with his homework. His uncle, who is sitting right here, said, I think it is so. He said, oh no, it is not like that. And so he went on. So we just leave him right there. He had also finished his homework before he would do anything. And he was just, an ordinary child. Going there, didn't get much spanking, I believe. I don't remember. I don't remember I have any time to spank him. His grandfather, my husband, spanked him, I believe, one time, I remember. We were coming from the field. We have more than one field. And he ride the donkey to the bush, and we were coming home. So, while we were coming home, when we reached to a certain part, there was no Dinal. No Dinal, we couldn't find him. And so, when I asked one of them, they said he'd gone to the other field to cut cane. So he cut across and went to the other field by himself and go and cut his cane and come back. Well, when his grandfather heard about it, get a spanking because he said, suppose if anything happened to you run at that bush, what would we do for we couldn't find you? And so I believe that was the only spanking he got from me. So he grew up ordinary, went to the bush and we milk cow and we put the cow milk on the fire there. We would milk the cow. We put the milk on the fire there and we would take out that milk and we drink and then we come home back. But he was, just one time we went to the store to get some shoes for him. Whether the shoes was big or small, sometimes you go there, you can't find his size. So I was supposed to buy one for myself and one for him. But when I hear from the shop and I find his size, I bought 2 pairs for him. And none for me. Because, I just want to see him go. Because I could see the potential in him. And so because of that, I try to push him. And tonight, I am rejoicing. I am so glad that he has reach where he reached, and we're able to be here tonight to congratulate him on what he has been doing. And I am so glad that when he went to the university, there is good and bad everywhere. And I am so glad that he did not go down that road. He could take another road, but because the Lord God have been blessing me,
Yes.
the blessing overtake him on the way. And so because of that, he did not go down the other road. And we have to keep praying for these young people, because there is so much out there to distract them from doing the right things. I have to be praying for those young men of Jamaica, because when we lose our young men, the society, the whole society becomes weak. Because we are losing our doctors and our lawyers and all those young men that are supposed to come up, our soldiers and all these men. We are losing most of them. Some going one way, some going the other way. All kind of things. Yes? Some are going. Of course. We are going, some going one way. Yes. Yeah, God. Yeah. And so because of that tonight, and I am so glad for my daughter, because we have a lot of women that, but she take very good care of them. She had also skipping here and there with these two boys living in town, because you see it was terrible there. And so she have to be skipping special places to raise them so that they could grow up in the right and proper way. I thank all of you who are here this afternoon to help us to let him go further in what he's doing.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to celebrate with us tonight. I just wanted to sit and listen to what you all have to say about my son, because I'm his mom, I know him, but I wanted to sit and to hear what others have to say about him. And I'm awfully proud tonight to be here and to hear all what was said about him. I can maybe expose a few secrets that you would not know about him, but I'm not going to tell you much. I remember when Deanall was about 11, he used to sit and study the dictionary. I bought them like all the boy books, about Corey and Dinal. While Corey would read the book, he would read the Bible. He would study the dictionary. And he would study from page to page as if you're reading a book. The atlas, you would study the atlas the same way, all the countries. I remember one evening I went home from work and I was so tired. And he mentioned some country, I don't quite remember. And he was able to tell me the country, the capital, and the president. And then he gave me that little look. Mommy, you didn't know that I know all of this? But that was Dinal. When I went to school, primary school, while I was in Limehall with my mom, and the headmaster took me in his office and he says to me, Mother, you have a very brilliant boy here. And he's going to be a great son of the soil. That's what the headmaster for the school told me. Deanall growing up didn't give me any problem. I didn't have to beat him, not even one time. But I remember when he was a teenager, I had to give him all 5. I don't remember what he said, but I gave him 5. But apart from that, he gave me no problem. I remember one of their duties when they were growing up, when I take my shower, they were supposed to lotion my legs and my arms. Because I didn't have a daughter, and I said to myself, if I become sick, I don't want them to be afraid to touch me. So that was my way of sensitizing them to my body. So they would have to lotion my 2 arms and my legs. Corey would lotion my arms and leg, and then I would say, Corey, go and get me some water. When it was Deanall time to lotion my hands and legs, he said, Mommy, tell me exactly what you want me to do. So I could not, Deanall could not lotion the legs. Then I say, go and get me some water, not Deanall. I would have to say, Deanall, I'm asking to lotion my legs, get me some water, close the door, I have to tell him everything at the same time. So that was Deanall. But I thank God for Dinal, and in addition to encouraging Dinal in his academics, I also teach him about the Lord. That is our foundation. That is our lineage. I came to see my great-grandmother serving the Lord. My grandmother serving the Lord. My mom serving the Lord. I am serving the Lord. So that is our foundation. And that is what Dinal has built on. He knows the word. I cannot say he's a professed Christian, but I know he knows the word. So the word complements the academics. And this is what has helped to form and to fashion his life for him to be the person that he is tonight. I have much more to say, but I know time is at hand. My sister who's in the UK and my other sister who's in Florida, they expressed their congratulations to you, Deanall. And the Barnes family, I just want to give you thanks for coming. Errol, I want to give you thanks for giving me this wonderful boy. And I just want to tell you all, thanks for coming and thank you for celebrating with us tonight.
Deanall knows the word. Glory. Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother. Indeed. Knowing the word is important, and knowing words are even more important. So now, Mummy, let me tell you. We can tell you thanks. I never meet you before, but that's true. Deanall talk about you and his grandmother all the time in Brother Hall. And I find it amazing that you've never had to spank him. But don't worry, somebody else has taken care of that. Anyhow, folks, we're getting to the end. We're almost at the finish line because it's now time for the cake cutting. So, Janice, I now invite you to take care of that. Then we will hear from the man of the moment. And according to Spanish court, we have to exit the room by 10 p.m. But at Jamaica, this, right, you had people, our place, plus Adina, like, no, him have that list with the other time with upon it, right? So we just make a one phone call and everything good. Anyhow, Janice, please take us through this cake cutting exercise.
Good evening, all. I was blessed to leave the country, come to Kingston as a babysitter, and happen to be sharing house with Lady Madge. And these two boys were always out in the field, football field at Corville Gardens, playing, coming in dirty and all of that. But I always look forward to the pot cooking, because I know that when the food is finished, the cooking is finished, I'm going to get some. And so, from Corville to being a family friend, and I'm blessed to know that you have shoulders to lean on even when family is not around, and Marjorie Chambers is one such, and by extension, Mr. Chambers, and now I can almost say two nephews. So I'm happy that I was given this opportunity to do the planning. I had aches and pain. I think my blood pressure went up a little because I wanted everything to go well. This morning I shouted at one of my staff. Then I had to hug her. Tomorrow I have to take her to lunch because she told me that the voiceover wasn't working well. I said, cut the whatever hell. I need this. I can't allow the family to feel let down. So done with the chatting. But it's time for the cake cutting. I am privileged to call to the cake table 4 generations. This is a supreme blessing that I did not have, and sometimes a lot of persons don't have. And so from Grandma Gloria to Lady Madge to Sir Dinal Barnes and Dinal Barnes Jr., we invite you as a blessed lineage, DNA, to cut the cake together. Can you imagine grandma, mother, and then son and grandson? This is an awesome blessing. Let's hear it for them. Thank you so much.
And Mr. Barnes, after you take Grandma back to the table, this microphone and this, well, as a matter of fact, I cannot even come at the lectern, brother, because of your night tonight. We're not pressure you. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, Dinal Barnes.
Senor. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, family, colleagues, thank you very much for coming first and foremost. Although this celebration was really made for me, this is my mother's celebration. You know, without saying too much, I remember my high school years when I used to wear Reebok. We have Travel Fox, Jordan. There was LA Light at that time. And all through these years, I didn't know until perhaps 20 years later that the stipend that my mother got at work to buy her own uniform and to buy her own shoes, she actually used that money to buy shoes for myself and my brother and walk or take the bus to work in lean shoes and in slippers on many occasions just to ensure that our two boys went to Calabar, look good, look trash, and I thank you very much, Mother. For those who were born in the 80s and onwards, might know, but when I started Calabar, I think my lunch money at that time was $5.50. And I had figured from first semester, big up yourself, Talpi, as a Calabar man, utmost, that the only way that I could get some extra money from my mother was to pass exams, and pass exams with a minimum grade of 75%. So Andrew's brother was in my class, Craig Simpson, and they used to call me nerd. Not because I was just nerd-like, but I had a very thick glasses. But I was one of the few students who always looked around and wanted exams. Because exams for me was my chance to get some more money. So I went to my mother. I said to her, sis, because for those who are close to us know that I don't think I call her mother, our mums. We call her sis. Because in her earlier years when she was coming to Calabar, a lot of persons thought she was our sister and not mother. So we call her sis. I said, sis, if I get 75%, will you double my lunch money? She said, yes. And so said, so done. She paid dearly. Because I wish there were 10 semesters every year. Because every semester exam, I collect in. I will tell you though, that I found out later that all those extra funds that she was giving me, she was actually depriving herself of lunch. Again, I thank you, Mother. Miss G, what can I say about Miss G? In the family, during Christmas time, when all are heading to St. Anne, to Lime Hall, I am the grandson of many grandsons, and I am the only person
that she would call, Dean, what do you want for breakfast? So clearly, my desires was what determined what would have happened in the kitchen. So there were some quarrels, nothing physical, but from early out, Miss G treated me extremely special. But I will tell you the extent of how special she treated me. Miss G and her husband, Kotta, may his soul rest in peace, were really small farmers. And not small in the local context. Andrew, I know you're a big farmer, you have acreage. But not that kind of thing. I doubt they own half an acre at that time. So they're very small farmers. And you had there and Carrie, my aunt, who she had to send to school. And I reflected years later and realized that there were occasions when she didn't send there and she didn't send my aunt Carrie Ann because the money couldn't stretch. And I was the only person that she sent to school. This, I have to thank Miss G, but I also have to thank Carrie Ann and Dare, because they not going actually helped provided me with an opportunity to make me the man I am today. So I thank you there. I thank you very, very much. I didn't know that I was not from a middle-class family until when I actually reached university. And this is so, despite what I'd call one blip. There were some Fridays when I was attending primary school that Miss G just never have the money. So I was one of those persons who, perhaps for my entire grade 5, half the year I didn't go to school on Friday. But as God would have it, Miss G, first chance in common entrance I passed. One of the few persons from the community that actually passed common entrance, but perhaps more importantly, passed in common entrance at the first go, despite not having an opportunity to go to school on most Fridays. And again, Miss G, I thank you. There were occasions where in those days there were not a lot of street lights. And my poor grandparents did not have enough to have the light on for an extended period. So I had to use what they refer to as a buckle torch. I don't know how many persons know what a buckle torch is. And Miss G, Mommy, I think the deterioration in my eyes is a result of those years of studying using buckle or bottle torch, as the Queen's English would have it. But I ventured on, and my biggest supporters were always my grandmother, my brother, and my mother. They have always supported me. Then came a little man called Mr. Chambers, my stepfather today. And I don't know if it was a strategy by him, but every Friday I used to get something in my pocket. And as I said earlier, those little funds that I received then, I spread it along with all my friends, and I lived later on when I was in college that even a friend of mine who's a fireman, you know what, Shabby? Correct. Sent his little $2,000, but in those days on campus, $2,000 was a lot of money. So again, I thank you. I've been fortunate in my own mind to be blessed by good friends. Clayton will tell you, there are occasions when we had to share clothes, but the girls would know. They would know. I mean, boss man, you have anything fresh? Yeah, man. So we perhaps ended up going 4 or 5 parties and people seeing 5 different things, not knowing that I only own 2 and Clayton own 2. And it's the same with Julian. Now, Richard spoke earlier of the 4th Festiva. My earliest professional training was at NCB way back when, 1994 to 1995. And you know, it's interesting that Xavier mentioned my own political sojourn. But I actually was accepted in the University of Technology. And the now Minister of Justice, the Honorable Delroy Chuck, was a client of the bank. And for whatever reason, we were having a discussion. He asked me, why is it that I am not going back to school? I told him UTech. He said, no, waste of time. No disrespect to UTech. He was the one who said that. And I think it was in late August. And he said I should get him my qualifications. And the following week, I got acceptance at the university. I don't know what he did, but I was qualified, just for the record. But it was actually the Honorable Delroy Chuck who took my application to the university and actually got my acceptance letter and took it to me. Then I reached one of the biggest universities that I have ever entered, Chancellor Hall. You know, several persons mentioned Chancellor Hall, and persons might think it's just some rowdy young men. I will say this much. Of the last 3 prime ministers, of the last 4 prime ministers, 3 are actually Chancellor right. Honorable Percival James Patterson, Orette Bruce Golding, and the existing Prime Minister, Andrew Michael Holness. And as a matter of fact, stand up, Dr. Madan. Dr. Late Madan, stand up. We started university together, and he actually lived on the same block that the Honorable Prime Minister lived on. So big up to Runsi. The level of camaraderie that was developed during my years as Chancellor has helped me considerably. As stated earlier, I'm the chairman of Yuatan Primary, and every single year I just post in the group, gentlemen, we need to contribute to the Yuatan Primary Scholarship Fund, and every single year the man's jumping. And we have helped over the last 3 years 47 different students to attend university. So thank you very much, Manzaf Chancellor. What is there to say about Norman Horn and ARC? I think my family, especially my mother's side of the family, know very much about the history of ARC, Norman Horn, Dinal Barnes. We have one of the best relationships I can think of, because we'll war for the 5 minutes or an hour, and the next minute we're walking, hugging, and people wondering exactly what is happening. So during my hiatus from ARC, a lot of persons had all the different things to say, not knowing that Norman and I was meeting almost every week, having lunch, having dinner, and strategizing. My professional journey and all, or I would say the significant amount of training that I have received is by that man, Norman Washington Horn. I am the man I am today because of the professional guidance that he gave me. And I am esteemed and feel privileged that he has decided to now step up to be the chairman of the company. And I've reposed confidence in me and said, Barnes, you run my company. Chairman, enough respect. Now, there was only one single person in my family that actually mentioned law at an early age, and it was my great-great-grandmother. At age 6 or 7, she said to me that you're going to be a lawyer one day. I told my mom recently, and she said, really? I said, yes. Because law for me wasn't a profession that I desired any at all. It happened by default. As a matter of fact, I will share with you my colleague Clayton Howard Lawrence, that he's a lawyer in a few weeks simply because of me. I was heading to class one day and I stopped at car wash. And he was there and said, Reggie, where you going? And I said, I got fool around this law thing. He said, what? I said, no man, come register. And he registered. And as they would say, the rest is history. In a few weeks' time, he'll be a full lawyer. Big up yourself, my virgin. Now, along the journey, there have always been persons who help. And I want to recognize the persons in my tutorial group, generally, and my colleagues from the law school. So I'm just going to ask all of them to stand. Don't bother the shyness, so I have to go in front of the judge and everybody. I think, no, Marlon, over there that spoke. Beside Marlon, you have Donovan Earl Collins Jr. And every day that he introduced himself, he gave all the names. And beside him, you have my wife. She is Mrs. Dinal. Deanall is her last name. Just for the record, her husband is right next to her. And then you have the two little but Talawa right there. You have Miss Crystal Brown. I'm not sure she looks, so she in the burgundy. She rougher than how she look. And then, before I talk about Miss Rochelle, I go around at the back. Go talk about my bona fide Jeffrey, Clayton, Keisha. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this young lady right here, may I come see her good and proper. Proper too. This, up to 2 days ago, she is the valedictorian at the Norman Manley Law School graduation. So, and she had a rough life, but it's not time to talk about her life. You'll hear about it. Brilliant young lady. Next to her is a beautiful Chevanese. You see her hair fancy and her dress fancy. I saw she come to law school every day. And if she's moving for 10 meters, she's going to take 10 hours because she nice and proper. Miss Chevanese. And behind Stacy there in white, quite pure in every single way. She is another honors graduate at the Norman Manley Law School. So let's clap. Yeah. And I have to big up my comrade round the back, Miss Cheryl Power. Now, this young lady now that I'm going to talk about, Rochelle Brown. I don't know what color that, Rochelle. What color is that? Mustard. This young lady, in my view, and in the view of even my tutorial mates, would have contributed at least 70% of the guidance that I got at law school. So she was the one who helped with the assignment, prepared the notes for exams. So if I haven't said it before, Rochelle, enough respect, enough love. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. Time. What can I say about the Barnes clan? For those who have met my father, and I'm sorry he's not here, Moses Green. My colleague Chancellor Hall will know Moses Green. I remember Moses was part of a group of us that visited with my father years ago. And the rest of us went inside the house, but somehow Moses was captured and captivated by this man, Mr. Errol Barnes. His eloquence and comprehension of the dictionary, the Bible and world affairs, even when we're leaving, Moses did not reach inside. So I think to a large extent, I believe that my mom's side, they do have tremendous intellect. But on the other side, I also am benefited from the intellect of the Barnes clan. You would have heard earlier from my cousin Kwame, who hails from Titchfield and spoke of Canada Hall. He's one of the genius that attended the University of West Indies, St. Augustine campus, and I think he studied computer engineering. Spectrum Management Authority. Almost every 2 weeks he's somewhere, all over the world, and his beautiful wife and family. I want to talk quickly about Nadine before I go. Now, my grandmother, Miss G, always tell me, don't eat from people. So I think I could be no more than about 11 or 12 years old at that time. And I went to my grandma, that is the Barnes grandma. Now, they prepared food. I collected it and I threw it away. They prepared food again. I collected, threw it away. The old thing that I used to eat was the good old bulla, and I used to eat the cane that was inside the yard. And somehow they found out that I was not eating the food any at all. And I told them distinctly that my grandmother, Miss G, said, do not eat from anybody. Well, needless to say, they told me that they are not anybody. They are my cousins and my aunts and my grandmother. And eventually Nadine started eating some food. Nadine Chang, that's the Chinese side of me. You know, I tell people and they laugh at work when I tell them that I have 2.5% Indian in me. And I calculated right down from my great grandmother down, but well, there's no indication here now. Every single individual inside here, whether directly or indirectly, would have played some role in making me the man today. Words can't be enough to describe the gratitude. Whether the prayers, I have some prayer warrior like Miss Laverne and Miss G, when them get on the phone, them work. And they pray for my friends. And I will tell you, Mommy, thank you again. Because when she used to take my food to Chancellor Hall, most time I was attempting to play football at that time. And it was Grace. The persons who collected the food at that time for me are some of the champions of industries right here today. So you have fed quite a lot of us, and we are thankful. I remember yesterday when you had an issue at JMB, you went there and you were in this significant line, and I said, give me 1 minute. And I called Kwame over there and said, Kwame, where are you? Are you at work? Him say, yes. I said, my mother is next door. She need help. Him say, send me a picture right now. And the rest is history. She got you in a second. I thank you very much, Kwame. And I don't know if it's a little food, because I don't think you got a lot out of it. But my mother, when she was preparing at that time, she did not only prepare it for me, because she knew a lot of the young men and Chancellor really didn't have it and really couldn't get a proper Sunday dinner with carrot juice along with some banana bread and what do you call that one? And bread pudding. And they benefited considerably. And they have said it to me repeatedly, and I want to say it to you on behalf of them. They are very much appreciative. Even Kadir from overseas, Carl is an oncologist now. So I want to thank you for the investment that you have made in me. And I hope that the return that you have received from me is enough. But I guarantee you, if it is not enough, I will still continue to give return. So at some point in time, you will say, well done, son. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you as well, Deanall. And as we close, Janice, in prayer.
Father, in the name of Jesus, we give you all honor, all praise, all glory for giving us the liberty to celebrate in this manner. Lord, you would have known that today, the 1st of October 2019, would have been celebrated in this way for this family, because our blessings are reserved once our ways please you. I pray, mighty God, as you have extended your love, your care, your mercy, your limitless blessing towards Dean, his family, friends, I pray, mighty God, even as they celebrate their academic achievements and professional growth, that they will be aware that the very breath in their bodies, the very movement that the heart makes, every neurons in their bodies, mighty God, you would have allowed them to activate and to operate as you have orchestrate or plan for them to do or to operate accordingly. And so, mighty God, I pray that everyone leaving here will know that it happened this way because of your plan that was already in place. I thank you, mighty God, for your strength, for Dean's vision, the vision that you have given to him, the proactive attitudes, the attributes that you would have given to him even before his dad met his mom, or vice versa. We thank you for this blessing, mighty God. We owe all praises and honor and glory to you and to you only. Lord, as the different families plan to go back to their different homes and place of work, I pray that your divine coverage and your divine blessings will be measured out to them even more than before. I pray for our safety as we return to our separate homes. I pray, mighty God, that there will be no incidents or accidents. I pray for total coverage under the blood of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, whose blood is undisputed, whose blood can penetrate anything or anywhere. Father God, we thank you so much. I can't find words this afternoon to tell you how thankful we are for this successful event. And so, mighty God, as we leave this place, we thank you for everything and everyone that could have joined in this manner. We give you all praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
And that's brought us to the end of our evening. Ladies and gentlemen, get home safe. God bless you. Take care. And we'll do this again sometime soon when Deanall achieves even more.